Yeah, definitely. I think I've been a lot, not a lot more locked in, but a little more locked in with film and getting prepared. I've always been pretty good with that. Figuring out what my opponent's going to do, and just the team as a whole. The other night before Iowa, had the whole team over, and we watched the game and kind of just gave Coach McClain a little blurb about what we thought about the team and what we thought we were going against. So I thought that helped, and individually, I think I've done a better job, like Coach Whipper said.
And he talked about just the Iowa game. He said that's how he's envisioned you playing. It's how you play well. Do you feel like something clicked for you? I mean,
I've had my moments throughout the season, but I think kind of putting it all together, definitely Iowa was one of the main games for this season. I played very hard. Had a double-double, and just kind of controlled the game. As far as the paint goes. So I was pretty happy with. The way our team played, most importantly, but I was glad for my effort.
What was different? What
I mean, there was really nothing different. I think we as a team just kind of had just a surge of energy, and we just know it's counting down, and we could still try to make a run at it, and because we're still the same team that beat Ohio State, beat Michigan State early in the season. Played really well against Gonzaga. So I think if we just try to keep our heads on straight and play like we did against Iowa, we can make a run.
What's Sam meant to you this year, in the 1 year that you've been with Sam? How has he helped you?
The first week or so Sam was here, I really didn't say much to him, and he was just kind of there. But after that, he kind of took me under his wing, and we both like chili, so go out, grab something to eat, just kind of talk, just about real life stuff. Not a lot about basketball, but just kind of him, mentoring me in a way. But he's been very good to me. Giving me pointers and just telling me to keep my head on straight, to lead this team and to be mature, and so he's been very important to me this year.
It's senior day, but do you think this is your last game in Assembly Hall?
I don't know. I don't know right now. Obviously, it's the NBA is my future. Hopefully, taking away injury and anything crazy that could happen. But for right now, I'm focused on Illinois. We played really well as a team the other day. I was very proud of how we played. The guys kind of came together. Brandon had a good game. DJ did his thing. We had guys coming off the bench. Tracy and Sam had a nice game. So I'm focused strictly on trying to make the tournament and playing for Illinois right now. And at the end of the season, I'll make my decisions, but right now I'm focused on University of Illinois.
Does it weigh on you at times during the year? I mean, thinking about, not just am I going to go or not, but just playing well for that purpose and playing well for
I've always just wanted to play well for my teammates here and play well for the coaching staff and, to represent my family, my community back home. But, as far as trying to play well to impress people, that's going to come. I've always just done it for the here and now. Obviously, it has weighed on me a little bit at times throughout the season because, it's not easy whenever, you hear everyone in your ear and, different people are trying to come at you from different angles. But, the coaches have done a nice job keeping me grounded as well as the people close to me and as well as my teammates.
What do you think it'll come down to for you? I mean, personal things, family or just wanting to play?
Obviously my mom is kind of teetering with her health. She has a bad back, and it's just always been there for me and always given everything that she had to me. So I want to take care of her, but she can make it even through next year if I decide to stay. My brother may re-enlist in August. He just got back from his second deployment in Afghanistan, so maybe if I stick around, he'll decide to stay. I really have no idea right now. I've definitely thought about it and kind of weighed my options, but as for now, I'm just playing for University of Illinois.
Will your brother be at the game?
Unfortunately not. He's tried to take some time off, but they're just not allowing him to right now. He has to do a bunch of debriefing stuff, just getting back into reality, whatever that is for him, and just whatever they have to do, as far as work and stuff like that.
You got to spend time with him?
I have not. He has to stay in North Carolina. He had 3 or 4 days off, but he couldn't go any further than 450 miles. So, he's been relaxed. So I played Call of Duty with him a couple times. Kind of talked to him on Xbox Live, Facebook, on the phone, but nothing major. I wish I could see him in person, but I'm just going to have to wait.